Good afternoon, welcome. This is vk3sl. These are the test missions on 160 metres afternoon session, and we're back again. I've been home for most of the day today. My daughter has been sick, but it's given me a chance to catch up with report writing. The big aura that hangs over me, spectre I should say, that hangs over me. I wish it was an aura. It's okay, cutting to the chase, working through the files, and I'm pleased to have had some correspondence from Mr. F, and we'll refer to that a little bit later on. I think we'll have an episode of something that he suggested a little later. I think that could be good. I'm still hard at it with these reports, so I'm not going to be fully on board with the operational side of things. Won't say set and forget, because I will be listening. It'll serve as good background material while I indulge. But that's the way it is at this time of the year. Busy times at the coalface and the salt mine. This is vk3sl, and just a reminder that we are testing here on 160, where these are tone tests to validate volume and clarity. It's the catchphrase, and there's also a streaming service as well, so you can go and watch it, or not watch it, but listen to it. You can watch the on-air sign, but there is a stream on YouTube, and that is under my call sign as well, vk3sl, as the name of the channel, and also that heralds the blogspot page, vk3sl.blogspot.com. There we have the singular place where everything is revealed. You'll find even an email address there if you want to get in touch. All right, what have we got on the list? Oh yes, we've been playing quite a bit of Stokowski, some of his great transcriptions of the music of Bach, and we've been having a few of them lately, and I found one here I'd like to sample. It's actually the music of Vivaldi. It's his realisation of Vivaldi's Concerto Grosso in D minor, one of his opus 3, his L'Estro Armonico, this one being number 11. And so what Mr. Stokowski's done is just fleshed it out, made it into something larger than life. So we hear Baroque music on steroids. So I think that's a good way to start the missions today. VK3SL testing, and let's have a listen to Leopold Stokowski. The Stokowski sound. You just heard Vivaldi's Concerto Grosso in D minor. Larger than life performance with Leopold Stokowski. And is it the NBC Orchestra? I think it is. And that was a great way to kick off today. Things are happening around here. There's a lot of activity. I'm going to have to pass the buck and find the next thing because I've got to make a phone call. It's busy times. Now, let's see. What have we got? What do we have? Yes, an episode of The Shadow. Now, this is good because there's quite a few episodes available. This is the Australian production of The Shadow. I think it started in about 1946, and it was a Grace Gibson production. And I think it started 46, went to early 50s. And it featured, the cast included Lloyd Lambourne, Richard Ashley, George Randall, Lyndall Barber. I think Margot Lane did the first series. I'm not sure exactly. There's quite a few others in this. But look, we'll have a listen to The Shadow. It premiered on 2UW. And actually, I think it premiered in Melbourne. Anyhow, there's a bit of information here, but I think we can flesh the topic out in due course. So let's have a listen to an episode of The Shadow. I think it's called Murder by Candlelight. Yes, that's what it is. vk3sl testing.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows. Once again, we bring you the thrilling adventures of The Shadow, the hard and relentless fight of one man against the forces of evil. These dramatizations are designed to demonstrate forcibly to old and young alike that crime does not pay. The Shadow, who aids the forces of law and order, is in reality Lamont Cranston, wealthy young man about town. While in the Orient, Cranston learnt a strange and mysterious secret: the hypnotic power to cloud men's minds so they cannot see him. Cranston's friend and companion, the lovely Margot Lane, is the only person who knows to whom the voice of the invisible Shadow belongs. Today's drama, Murder by Candlelight. Our story opens in the soft, luxurious bedroom of Natalie Drake. She is being fussed and petted by her old maid, Emmy, as she prepares to go out.
No, Emmy, not the pearls. I shall wear the emeralds tonight.
Oh, you are so beautiful, madam. It must be wonderful to always be so young and beautiful.
And loved, Emmy. What good is beauty and youth without love?
No man can resist you, madam.
I must be more than beautiful tonight.
Oh, but you're singing, madam. You mustn't neglect that for any man. You haven't practiced your vocal exercises today.
Yes, I have, Emmy, while you were out shopping. Now, have I everything?
I believe so, madam.
Emmy, how careless of you. You nearly let me forget the most important thing. Will you get me that little phial of poison?
Well, it's about time you arrived. Oh, it's you.
Good evening, Edward. Do you mind if I come in?
What are you doing here?
How romantic your bachelor flat looks by candlelight, darling. With a table set just for two. Champagne on ice.
I'm expecting a guest.
That's not very gracious of you.
I told you never to come back here.
I've been very generous with you, Edward.
Yes, and I needed the money desperately. But I've paid you back the way you wanted it, with lies.
Edward.
With rotten, filthy lies.
Edward, I told you never to say that again.
Get out. Leave me alone. I never want to see your face again as long as I live.
All right, Edward. Shall we have a farewell drink?
Then will you go?
Yes, I'll leave then. Will you pour the wine?
Yes.
Pink champagne. Is that her favorite, too? Is she as beautiful as I am, Edward? Edward, I said, is she as beautiful as I?
I'll never gaze on a woman as lovely as you again.
Thank you, darling. Delicious, isn't it?
Champagne, you poisoned it.
You're right, darling. You'll never will gaze upon any woman as beautiful as I am. Again.
You do look ravishing tonight, Miss Lane.
Why, thank you, Mr. Cranston. Oh, it's fun to be going to a real slap-up dress affair again.
I'm surprised the Martins didn't tell me that you were coming too.
Martins? Is that where you're going?
Oh, yes, of course, aren't you?
No. When you phoned and asked me if I was invited to the party tonight, naturally I thought you meant Edward Charles.
Oh, so that's where you're going.
Of course. Oh, Lamont, this is charming. Here we are, both dressed to kill, going to two different parties.
Do you mean you're actually going alone to Edward Charles's bachelor flat?
Now, who said anything about going alone? There are probably scads of other people invited, even if he didn't happen to include you.
Scads of other people my foot. Not if I know Charles.
Oh, you don't really think Mr. Charles is trying to lure me up to his little flat alone?
I wouldn't be surprised if he arranged this whole thing. Got the Martins to invite me out.
Why, yes. Yes, I can see it all now. Champagne, lobster, supper for 2 by candlelight.
Supper for 3, my pet. If you think I'm leaving you alone with Edward Charles, you're barking up the wrong wolf.
Oh, really, Lamont, you don't have to ring the place down. Mr. Charles isn't deaf.
He's old enough to be.
Lamont, you don't actually think I would have come here alone if I wasn't sure there'd be other guests?
No, of course not, darling. That's strange. Doesn't seem to be
Wait a
anybody.
minute. Someone's coming to the door. Oh, Mr. Charles, good evening.
She said I'd never gaze on any woman beautiful again.
Mr. Charles, what's wrong?
I'll never gaze upon a fearless, vicious devil.
Mr. Charles!
Lamont, he's falling.
I've got him. Close the door, Margot. Come on into his flat.
What's happened to him, Lamont?
I don't know yet. Here, I'll put him on the sofa.
You better loosen his collar.
Charles. Charles, what's happened to you?
Lamont, he did expect me to come here alone. Look at the table set for 2. Candlelight and champagne. Someone's been here before us, Lamont. That perfume. And 2 champagne glasses with lipstick on one. Lamont, why are you looking so strange?
This whole scene reminds me of something, Margot. Something I've heard or read. Murder by candlelight.
Murder?
Yes, Margot. Our host, Edward Charles, is dead.
Sorry to have to bring you down here to the department, Lamont, but you and Margot did find the body first.
Find the body, Commissioner Weston? He practically died in our arms.
Well, it's an open and shut case this time, Lamont. Edward Charles has been a playboy for years, only this time he picked the wrong girl. He tried to get rid of her, and she put poison in his champagne glass.
Candlelight, supper for 2, playboy, and a famous beauty.
Have you any idea who might have done it, Commissioner?
Yes, Margot, I have. A tall blonde by the name of Anita Jane, a showgirl from the Strip and Tease Review. Why, the lipstick on the champagne glass was the same type used exclusively by showgirls.
He called her a fiend, a devil.
This Anita Jane's been stringing this Edward Charles for what she thought she could get out of him. Then she must have found out he was broke.
You really think she did it?
I know she did it. We just found out she left town an hour after the murder.
She's still about somewhere.
What are you talking about, Cranston?
Oh, just daydreaming, I suppose. Something about that scene haunts me. Candlelight, champagne, supper for 2.
Well, the police can't work on daydreams, Lamont. What we need is evidence, concrete facts and proof.
I hope you get all the evidence on Anita Jane, Commissioner. I really do. Come on, Margot.
Oh, where are we going?
I don't know. On a wild goose chase, perhaps.
Lamont, are we going to drive around all night?
I could just remember, Margot. Remember why that scene in Edward Charles's flat should seem so familiar to me now.
Well, I really can't see what that's got to do with the murder. But if you insist, drive me up by Ricard Avenue.
What did you say, Margot?
I said drive me up by Ricard Avenue.
That's it. I've got it.
What?
On that avenue, there was a famous murder in an old house. It happened, years ago, around the turn of the century. Exactly the same way. Later, several famous writers used the plot for stories. Murder by candlelight. The case was never solved.
Around the turn of the century? But, Lamont, I still don't see what that has to do with a murder that was committed last night.
That's just what we're going to find out.
Where?
A very exciting place, Margot.
Well, where, Lamont, where?
The public library, darling.
Find anything yet?
No. Here, look through this pile.
Oh, but these old papers go way back to 1902.
If you find anything before I do, don't hesitate to scream.
Oh!
Margot, have you found something?
Yes, Lamont, look here.
Murder by candlelight. Socially prominent financier found poison. Famous beauty held.
There's a picture. Oh, she's beautiful.
Natalie Drake, popular singer, pleads innocence.
There's something more in this paper.
Natalie Drake acquitted of murder. Singer plans to retire. Inherits financier's mansion on Ricard Avenue.
Here's a picture of the house.
310 Ricard Avenue. I remember that house.
Where he was murdered.
Margot?
Yes, Lamont.
Wouldn't it be strange if we found Natalie Drake still living there tonight?
Look at the house, Lamont. The windows are all boarded up.
Yes, the old mansion looks like it's been vacant for a good many years.
There couldn't be anyone living in there. I don't understand all this, and I don't like it. This Natalie Drake, the beautiful singer, couldn't have anything to do with the murder. She must have died years ago.
I was just wondering about that, Margot.
This is a test transmission from vk3sl.
A man going around the side of the house.
Come on, quickly. I want to find out where that man is going.
Oh, it's no use, Lamont. He's disappeared.
He got into that house somewhere.
But the house is all boarded up.
That's just it, Margot. That house isn't as vacant as we thought. We're going in.
How, Sherlock?
I don't know, but if he got in, we can.
Darling, how charming of you to want to see me tonight.
Yes, I've got something to tell you.
It can wait. Come in. I've had Emmy set the table for us.
I'm not hungry tonight.
Darling, don't be so distant.
It's all finished between us. Finished.
Oh, is it?
Yes, I'm leaving town.
I've been very generous with you, Dan.
There are some things I can't do for money. You make me sick all over. You, this house, you're rotten clean through.
Dan. Dan. Let's have one last farewell supper together. By candlelight.
I said I wasn't hungry.
Then a farewell glass of champagne.
I'm not thirsty either.
Oh, come on. Don't be such a fool, darling. Here. Drink this. You'll feel better.
All right.
To us, darling. Well, drink, Dan. Drink.
You must think I'm pretty foolish. I know Edward Charles died of poisoned champagne, and I know who poisoned him.
Why you?
Keep away from me.
What are you doing with that revolver?
Just making sure I leave without any trouble.
Get out! Get out and never let me see you again!
Don't worry, you won't. I've seen just about as much rottenness as I can stand. And all of it is right in your face.
Oh, it's no use, Lamont. We've tried every door in the place.
Margot, look. There he comes. Round the side of the house.
Aren't you going to stop him?
No, he wouldn't talk to me here. I'm going to follow him, Margot, as the shadow, and find out what he saw in that house tonight.
Who's there? Who's opening that door?
You have a visitor, Dan Burke.
Where are you?
Everywhere and nowhere. All of the places you would like to hide, Dan.
Who are you?
The voice of the shadow.
I've done nothing wrong.
Then why are you packing? Why are you leaving town?
I don't want to get mixed up in trouble.
Trouble, Dan, at 310 Regard Avenue. The beautiful lady of the candlelight and wine.
I didn't know she was a murderer.
What secret are you hiding, Dan? Is it Natalie Drake? Is it her secret you're hiding?
Keep out of this if you know what's good for you, whoever you are. I can tell you she's not human or real. She's something out of a nightmare.
Someone's calling you, Dan.
It's her, I know.
Answer the phone, Dan.
Yes. Yes, she can't get me now. Hello?
You didn't think you could get away that easily, did you, darling? You're really not planning on leaving town, are you?
Where are you?
In a flat just across from yours, darling. I've been watching you pack. I'm watching you now.
It's she. She's in a flat across the street.
Where?
I'm sorry you wouldn't let me do this beautifully with candlelight and champagne. I'm sorry we have to say goodbye like this.
Oh. In the window. Across the street. Get her. She's evil. The most horrible woman in the world. We'll return to tonight's Shadow Adventure in just a minute. Meanwhile, your announcer.
Lamont Cranston, on the trail of a beautiful young murderess, has just witnessed a second murder as the Shadow. His report to the police bring both Commissioner Weston and Margot Lane to the scene of the crime.
Did you find anyone, Weston? No. My men have searched the whole flat building. You're sure the voice said she was in the flat across the way?
Yes, I heard her distinctly, talking to him.
How'd you find him?
Well, Lamont and I were watching that house. We saw him leave. Lamont followed him here.
I tell you, I heard her voice clearly over the phone, just before the shot. It was a young voice and beautiful in a way.
Could it have been your blonde showgirl, Commissioner? You said she's left town.
Well, she could have come back.
Commissioner, would you like to take a little ride with Margot and me up to Rickard Avenue?
Rickard Avenue? Cranston, do you still think those murders are tied up with that old history book case that happened 40 years ago?
I'm beginning to, Commissioner.
Well, you just go ahead and live in the past, Lamont. I'll take care of the present. I'm staying right here till I've collected all the evidence on the shooting and a report on that missing showgirl.
All right, Commissioner. But I think in this case, the past is going to be a lot more interesting than the present. Coming, Margot?
Why don't you try saying open sesame?
I think I've got it now. There we are, Margot. A twist of the wrist and...
Darling, you're wonderful. I didn't know picking locks was amongst your many talents.
Oh, you must call me sometime when you've forgotten your keys. After you.
But I only came because I thought you couldn't get in.
Want to wait in the car?
Oh, no. No, if I'm going to be scared to death, I'd rather be with you. Oh, it's pitch black in here. The window's boarded up.
Did you bring the torch?
Yes. Here.
Look at the furnishings here in the hall, Margot.
They haven't even been covered.
Everything must be exactly as it was when they took the body away.
The financier, you mean? Back in 1902.
Yes. Look at that long stairway.
And those pillars over there.
That's the entrance to the parlor.
So quiet. The dust, these thick carpets, you can't even hear our footsteps.
Look in here, Margot.
Those vases.
Filled with dead flowers.
Lamont, I'm frightened. It's like waking the dead.
This is a dead world, Margot. The whole house is a tomb.
What's that over the mantel?
I don't know. There's a black cloth nailed over it.
A painting, perhaps.
We'll soon find out. It's a large mirror.
Oh, why do you suppose someone covered that?
Like something in mourning.
Here's another. A smaller one covered with black. Down the wall over here.
It's a painting of her. The one we saw in the paper.
She was beautiful.
Yes. Yet there's something strange the artist has caught. Something almost evil in those eyes. Margot, what is it?
Something brushed past me.
Look. In the beam of my torch.
A black cat.
Yes. I wonder how that...
Cats. They stay near dead bodies, Lamont. Let's get out of here.
Not now, Margot. If Natalie Drake's still in this house, I'm going to find her, dead or alive.
What was that?
Somebody laughing.
Laughter of a young girl.
There it is. Again.
But where, Lamont?
It's somewhere in this house.
The voice again. Singing.
It seems to be coming from underneath the floor. Somewhere...
A young girl's voice.
Natalie Drake was the singer, remember?
She'd be old now. It couldn't be her. Lamont, look. Down at the end of the hall.
Thin ray of light. Let's find out where it's coming from. Here's where it's showing.
A trapdoor in the floor.
Singing is louder.
It's coming up from the trapdoor.
Stand back, Margot. I'm going to open it.
What is it, Lamont? What is it?
Don't look. Don't look in that room.
Is it as bad as that?
It's pretty horrible, Margot.
Come on. Come on, let's get out of here.
No, you go and get Weston. Bring him and a squad of men right back here.
You're going to stay?
I'm going down into that room, Margot.
As the shadow?
Yes. To fight fear with fear. Go and get Weston. And hurry back.
You must close it at once.
Yes, madam.
Well, go ahead.
Look, madam, look! The trapdoor's closed by itself.
Nonsense, Emmy.
Yes, madam, but I had a funny feeling just now that somebody came through it, down those stairs.
Nobody could come in. Nobody knows about my secret rooms.
No, madam.
Come and fix my hair. We've another gentleman caller tonight.
I've the table all set for two. Champagne on ice. Will he be here soon, madam?
Yes, soon.
Your gentleman caller has already arrived, Natalie Drake.
Who's that?
The voice of the shadow.
Someone did come in.
I can't see anybody here.
The shadow is everywhere, nowhere. But tonight the shadow comes to you with sin, shame, and murder on your hands.
They've come for us, madam. Madam, they found us at last.
Be quiet, Emmy.
Yes, Natalie Drake. You have blood on your hands. First, the blood of your sweetheart, the man you killed in this house back in 1902.
He knows.
Emmy.
You were acquitted of that. Your great beauty saved you then.
The police let her go.
You knew she was guilty. You knew she killed the financier, Emmy.
I had to be faithful to her.
Keep quiet, Emmy. You're in this too.
In the murders of Edward Charles and Dan Burke, you knew she killed them too, Emmy.
I begged her not to.
Emmy, be still.
I knew she hired the men. Gave the money to pay court to her.
She paid the men.
Yes.
That's a lie. I didn't have to pay anyone.
She paid them.
Emmy, be quiet.
I didn't know that she would kill them too.
I said be quiet, Emmy.
Put down that knife.
Oh. Now you've killed me too. All I tried to do was to make you happy with lies. Everything was lies.
Emmy.
You're evil, Natalie Drake. Everything you touch is killed or destroyed. Now you'll pay for your wickedness.
They'll never convict me. Never. My beauty will save me again.
There is no escape now. The police will come and get you.
Where are you? Where are you hiding? I'll kill you. I'll make you pay for this too.
Tear the room apart, Natalie. You'll never find the shadow.
I will. I'll find you too.
They'll come and take you away. The whole world will know you as you really are, Natalie Drake.
Let them look. They've seen such beauty only once before.
Stop fooling yourself, Natalie. You're no longer young.
I am. I'm young and beautiful.
Only your voice is young. And now even that is changing.
You lie. I am beautiful.
Listen. Even your extraordinary voice fails you now that you know that you're finally caught.
No. My singing, my exercises. I've learned how to keep it young always.
Listen. In your hate and your fury, you're beginning to sound like you really are.
I'm young. I'm beautiful and young.
Listen to your voice. It's beginning to match your wretched, aged face.
You lie.
Men you paid to flatter you are the ones who lied. But even they couldn't stand to look at your wrinkled face, your thin, cruel lips, your clawing, murdering hands.
That's a lie. I am beautiful.
Look in the mirror then and see for yourself.
No.
Look in the mirror quickly, before the police come to take you away.
I am beautiful. Young and beautiful.
Now tear up the cloth. Look. You see, Natalie Drake, you really are a hideous, evil old woman.
Well, Lamont, what do you think of that, eh? Margot told me the place to find the Drake woman. I got my men there, found a hideout, and now I've got her in jail.
Yes, Lamont. I suppose that's one time we got in ahead of you.
Yes, I suppose it is. Congratulations, Weston.
Thanks, Lamont. By the way, where were you anyway when we broke into that house?
Off on some wild goose chase, I suppose, Mr. Cranston?
How did you ever guess, Miss Lane?
Well, I suppose we all get off on the wrong track sometime.
Yes, I suppose we do. By the way, Commissioner, did you ever catch up with the tall, blonde showgirl of yours?
Oh, yes, I did. She left town all right. along with one of the electricians of the show.
Is that so? Where'd you find them?
On the mountains.
On the mountain?
Yes, we interrupted their honeymoon, I'm afraid.
And so concludes today's Shadow Adventure. And now, you're an answer.
Yes, indeed. You've been listening to The Shadow, a Grace Gibson production, recorded in 1946.
Next week, same time, same station, we bring you another strange and thrilling adventure in the Shadow's daring battle against the forces of evil, demonstrating that the seed of evil bears bitter fruit. Be sure to listen for this thrilling Shadow story. As you sow evil, so shall you reap evil. Crime does not pay. The Shadow knows. This feature is produced by Reg Johnston for Grace Gibson Radio Productions. A masterpiece of suspense.
Well, there we go. That was high octane. The Shadow. We've got lots of these. I think there's about 60 episodes here, so we can keep going maybe. So, yeah, that was fun. I'm not sure exactly who was in the cast. We'll refer to our brain's trust in due course. It could have been Lloyd Lamble or Lamont Cranston. And I'm not sure. And Lyndall Barber maybe. George Randall, Betty Dixon, Brenda Durick, and Peter Finch. But there is probably a lot more information to be had. So this is good. This is a good archive to inhabit. So that's our OTR segment for today. Now I'm going to move over and to something that sort of was spawned by some happenings. This morning I received an email from Mr. F referring to a program, Late Sunday Nights on the ABC. It's a program I used to listen to religiously. In fact, I used to listen to it also when it was on Sunday mornings. And it's a program called For the God Who Sings. Now, it's a program featuring religious music, liturgical music, sacred music, and it's wonderful in the sense that it sort of brings out the stories behind particularly great choral music. And so I find that particularly evocative. It touches me very deeply. I love it. And always had a very soft spot for the great choral traditions. And so, yeah, John brought this to my attention. I should mention that I'm not a religious person at all, but I do find sacred music it resonates with me. So that's important. But yeah, John got in touch and said that there was an episode last Sunday night and featuring Yvonne Kenny, Australia's own, and she's singing in a performance with John Bowman of the Handel oratorio Deborah. Now, we're so familiar with the Messiah as they're sort of the highest or the greatest of Handel's oratorios. We wrote lots and lots of others. I think he wrote about 30 of them. So this is one of those, and we won't hear the whole thing, but I might just play a bit of Act 3. And there's a lot of information. There's a complex storyline that comes from the Bible. And I think what we'll do is refer to Stephen Watkins, who heralds the program on Sunday nights. And we'll sample this. We'll just hear Act 3 from Deborah by George Frederick Handel, and a work he wrote in 1733. So, Deborah and the Parable of Talents is the name of the program, and I'll just fade up Mr. Watkins, who gives a preamble to set the scene for Act 3. This is vk3sl testing.
Part 2 has seen the beautiful God-fearing heroine of the Canaanites, Jael, enter, wishing that she could live in peace. Deborah assures her that by close of that day she will make every woman proud. The tyrant then arrives, offering Deborah peace if Israel will become its slave. Well, that's clearly not on, so they go into battle, and by Act 3, Israel has trounced the Canaanites, in the Bible's words, without a man left. The Canaanite commander, however, exhausted, seeks refuge in the tent of the beautiful Jael, and perhaps a bit more, before he falls asleep, and it's then that Jael takes the knife and strikes the fatal blow to his temple. The tyrant now no more we dread, they sing. Again, He von Kenny is Deborah, James Bowman is Barak, her commander, and Susan Gritton is Jael, in Act 3 of Handel's Deborah.
blessings of this day, all my past cares and anguish well repay. The soldiers to each other tell, my barrack has performed his duty well. My honored father, oh my son, well has thy youth the race of honor run.
This is a test transmission from vk3sl.
I saw the tyrant breathless in her tent, her army's soul to endless darkness sent. But see, the glad assembly waits to know how thou didst rid them of so fierce a foe. Already thou hast told it me, but the relation will please more from thee.
From the battle that proud captain fled, vengeance divine to my pavilion led the trembling fugitive, who pale with care besought me panting to conceal him there. With flaming thirst and anguish in his look, he asked for water from the limpid brook, but milk I gave him in a copious bowl. With ecstasy he quaffed and cooled his soul. And then with his laborious flight oppressed, in some few moments he sunk down to rest. Then was I conscious that happy hour had placed the foe of Judah in my power. The workman's hammer and a nail I seized, and whilst his limbs in deep repose he eased, I through his bursting temples forced the wound, and riveted the tyrant to the ground. No rise no Tyrant, no more with ready. All thy insolencies, all thy insolencies, Tyrant, no more with ready. All thy insolencies, all thy insolencies,
test transmission from vk3sl.
May heaven with kind profusion shed its chosen joys on Jael's head.
sun divinely bright, when forth he marches in his might to run his radiant race of light.
Handel. And so ends Act 3 of Handel's oratorio Deborah, with the Australian soprano Yvonne Kenny AM as the prophetess Deborah. Deborah's commander, Bach, was sung by James Bowman, and Susan Britton was the beautiful young woman, Jael, who brought the chapter to a close, killing the tyrant as he lay asleep in her tent. It ends an often brutal story of a militant god blazing his way for his people through a land to flow with milk and honey, but apparently also rivers of blood. The choirs were from New College, Oxford, and Salisbury Cathedral with the King's Consort. For the God Who Sings, ABC.
Very poetic there, Mr. Watkins. Wizard Watkins, thank you for that. That was quite special. Deborah, I didn't know Deborah. It's one of the many Handel oratorios, so we just don't hear. We just don't get to. The Messiah eclipses them all, but there's some fantastic music there. Wonderful music. It's just compelling. I had it chorusing through the house today as I was writing reports. Had the new quad system, the Quad 405 and the 33 preamp on steroids playing this. It was quite a happening here, and I think I've listened to it 3 times today. So we just heard Act 3 there, and I compelled the For the God Who Sings. Great program, amazing program. I mean, look, it's music of the ages, and it's 10 o'clock on ABC FM every Sunday night. I need to start listening live again, but I'd forgotten that they were being streamed as well. Now, it was compression on compression on compression, so it was sort of a bit of a loudness overload there on these missions. I didn't have much control over that. I did look for another version of it, and I found one on YouTube with Yvonne Kenny, and but it was really distorted. Unfortunately, there was something wrong with it, so it wasn't satisfactory for the purposes of these missions. There we have it. That is a really nice way to finish today. It's put me in a much better mood. And we will, I'm sure there's more. vk3sl testing on 160. Thank you for your participation in tonight's meanderings. Until next time.
Like sheep